In this clip we've got Chris and Missy in their hypnosis scene that takes place in Missy's office. We sort of key-lit the actors with a warm side source, which was it's a medium-sized tungsten china ball that was down quite low, just below the eye line and off to the side. Kind of simulating the practical lamp that we had there in the wide shot, but you don't often see that lamp, you really only see it at the beginning of the scene. But it provided the justification. On Chris's side, we also added the blue sort of rim light, that's sort of indication of the outside where he's just been, that he just came in, and that is the same colour. On Missy's side, we don't use that as much, it's not as blue. The little flashback where Chris's hand is scraping on the chair as a child, we shot that with the Lens Baby, which is a special stills photography lens that distorts the edges of the frame and leaves only the central part in focus. And we used that a few times in the movie, just where Chris is going into that flashback to when he was a kid. When he drops down, he sinks down into the sunken place. Now in the sunken place, that was the only scene that we shot on a stage. The rest of the movie was all shot entirely on location. And we had the actor Daniel hanging from wires and then shot him at about 200 frames per second, which is the maximum shooting speed, slow motion speed of the Alexa Mini camera. I had E-fans provided by the special effects department to blow air on him, and at that frame rate it looks like he's in some kind of underwater sort of netherworld. And the inspiration for this was the dry for wet technique used in some of the big underwater movies, where you'd shoot an underwater scene on dry land in a stage. VFX took care of the wire removal, and we had two light sources, one high above Chris for when he was hanging upright, and for when he was hanging forward we would have a light source horizontally and be able to dolly past him to create that movement of the camera. Where Chris is looking straight down the camera, this we shot at the end of the sequence, and when we shot the reverse on Missy coming up to him as well, and this was to fit with him sitting in the sunken place and her appearing on the screen. The screen itself was provided in visual effects that we shot the material, and so were the little floating particles that is drifting around the sunken place was completely done in visual effects. Then Chris wakes up at dawn, and we have a slightly higher key version of the night look coming in. So that was the sunken place.